A couple of years ago, I was trying to help my mom with her business just because I realized she was spending so much time organizing her business and she wasn't teaching as many students as she possibly could. So I went out to the future of work software space, tried to find something that could support what my mom was doing, and realized that there was a gap in the market. So that's when I was lucky enough to meet Sam and we started building Clark.
Hi, I'm Joe Connolly, and today I am so happy to have two business founders with us who are in the important and also booming, I believe, industry of education and supporting the educators in America, and they have found a new market in doing this. Please welcome Megan O'Connor and Sam Gimbel from a business that they call Hi Clark. What does Hi Clark do?
Hi Clark is software for your tutoring business. So if you're an individual tutor and you're working with students in the classroom or outside, we build software to enable you to run that business. We work with both small educators and also large-scale tutoring agencies.
I'm led to believe that the education industry is a growing, possibly booming field. Is this correct?
It's definitely correct.
Absolutely.
And where's that growth coming from?
The growth is coming from the fact that parents, for the first time ever, are really understanding the importance of personalized learning and the fact that their kids need one-on-one instruction in order to truly thrive. Also, class sizes are getting quite a bit bigger, so teachers are lending software as their big support system in these days.
And how did you spot this opening for you?
So our story starts with my mom. My mom is a public school teacher in San Jose, California, and she's always tutored on the side. And she raised my brother and I by herself, and so she tutored as a means of making extra income. A couple of years ago, I was trying to help my mom with her business just because I realized she was spending so much time organizing her business and she wasn't teaching as many students as she possibly could. So I went out to the future of work software space, tried to find something that could support what my mom was doing, and realized that there was a gap in the market. So that's when I was lucky enough to meet Sam and we started building Clark.
That's amazing. How soon did you know, wait a minute, I have a business here?
I think it was right around the time that we started working with educators here in New York, and we were serving them as a virtual assistant. And we were seeing people come in droves asking for the same type of help over and over again. Took a lot of lessons learned from other future of work software in other verticals and realized that this market had never been addressed. They had never been touched yet with business software.
How's business?
Business is going really well. We're focused on tutoring centers at this current moment in our business trajectory.
Another larger niche within the niche.
Exactly. So each tutoring center represents anywhere between 10 and 100 tutors. And they typically hire full-time administrators as well. So what's really fascinating there is you get to help the administrator do their job even better, while also being able to focus on, sometimes dozens, sometimes almost 100 educators at a time.
This is called leveraging your product organically, right?
Exactly.
That's nice work if you can find it.
Yeah.
How do you find customers, or are they coming to you?
It's a good combination of both. We do have quite a few people that come to us on a recurring basis, mostly through word of mouth. The interesting thing about ed tech software is there's so much that's not great in the ed tech space that once a teacher or a tutor finds something that they like, they'll tell all of their friends about it. So our best evangelists are our current users.
Now, do you go out and sell? Do you send a sales rep to a tutoring center, or do you handle them all here from New York, or what?
I typically go to most of them.
Even in Cincinnati?
We're a scrappy small business, so I do most of our outbound sales, and we like to leverage Google Hangouts. So we do calls where we're talking in person, but it's, a virtual conference call, and then do the share screen so that way I can walk them through the software live on the phone.
Tell me a little bit about Google Hangout for those who've not used it. I have not. It's good. You like it? Saves a lot of time and money?
Absolutely. I mean, first of all, it's free. Second of all, it works. And third, you can see the person you're talking to. That's really the 3-point bit to it.
Because at the end of the day, these are people who run small businesses. They've done a phenomenal job growing these things organically themselves, just like we built our business. And they want to connect with the people that they're going to be doing work with. So having that personal connection by getting to see them, not just talk to them, is really important.
Where might you go next after the centers? Then what?
That's a great question. What we
You were afraid I was going to ask, right?
Oh, we're just
This is
excited.
secret.
We're
Okay.
excited to talk about it also. So more or less, we have individual tutors who want to become centers, who can take on more business than they currently are, and we are really excited to usher them along from this business of one to a more professional, higher revenue and higher impact space where they can be tutoring more students, providing more education through their network, and really growing businesses in their communities from the ground up, which is why we got into this in the first place.
And that network is so key. When we first set out to build Clark, we realized there was no association of tutors, no great news outlet, no place where you could find specific news or professional development for tutors. So we've also built that. We've built up a daily newsletter called The Syllabus, which specifically speaks to educators who are doing the great work of tutoring, or parents who are struggling with a student who needs help in a subject and trying to figure out if tutoring is right for them. Building out that network has been one of the strongest things we've been able to do.
So you have more ideas than you can take at any one time, right?
Absolutely.
Isn't that unbelievable?
Yeah, it's definitely a budding market for sure.
So how do you decide which ones to take on next? And are you hiring people, and how are you getting the money to hire them and facing all these high-class problems?
It's a great question.
Yeah, they're definitely high-class problems. We've raised 2 rounds of financing from different venture capitalists up until this point. We are hiring right now, so if you know of any great full-stack engineers, please let us know. We're looking for 2, and also an inside salesperson. But I would say that we actually do stay pretty narrow-focused when we're building, and it's only when our users tell us that they want something that we think about expanding the product. That's exactly where the community I just talked about and the news outlet we built came from, is people asking us, what should I be reading? What are the important things I need to know as a tutor?
Did you hire somebody to write the daily newsletter? Do you do it? How does that happen?
Yeah, we actually have a phenomenal staff that works on it. 2 members of our team, Dean and Stephanie, who are probably working on tomorrow's issue right now.
It's a daily newsletter. That's a big challenge.
Yeah.
Believe
It's a lot
me.
of work.
Yeah.
And they do a great job. Yeah.
And it strikes me that you could possibly become like the WeWork of tutoring, because you're now consulting how people can grow these tutoring centers. That's a business growth consulting field.
And it's interesting you say that, because so many tutors do use co-working spaces to run their businesses out of. And like I said, we're always here to support them in whatever business endeavors are going to help them scale their business. So that's something that we've thought about, is whether or not we could partner with them. But it's really fun to watch these people get to have more time doing what they do best, which is educating, and then have us be in all the different endeavors as it relates to them operationalizing or making their business more efficient.
Yeah, who are most of your tutors? They want to teach.
Yeah.
Tell me a typical one or 2.
We have so many different types, but I'll just tell you about one. We've affectionately named him Anthony, because we create personas for these folks. He actually did not start as an educator. He started as somebody who moved to New York or to LA to do something else. We used to think of these as like people coming up as actors, but these days it could be anything. And he realized he was really good at educating, gets a kick out of it, expands his business, and suddenly he's doing 30 hours a week. Hourly work in New York, especially for tutors, is very lucrative, and it's all referral based, and we're such a tight-knit city that it's easier for him to find business.
Wow, that's a great story. And I love this from your website. In-person education will never be replaced, but tutors need better tools for their business of helping to educate the next generation.
Yep, exactly that. If we can support these tutors and empower them, they can educate even more students, and we're in a very important time for that.
Well, you have an inspirational story, and you're doing good work for the good of society. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.